From that first reading, from the Acts of the Apostles, there broke out in that place, on that day, severe persecution of the church in Jerusalem. All were scattered. Devout men buried Stephen. People heard knocks on their doors. House after house, people were being dragged out, men and women, and handed over to imprisonment. There was great joy in the city that day. A bit surprising, that last line. Good morning, everyone. Last week, I had a bit of an unusual day. I celebrated Mass in our parish church. Not that unusual. But then I got in my car, knowing that it was going to be rush hour, and I tried to race to the courthouse. The courthouse. I was on jury duty. Something that we don't do too often, once every 3 years. And it seems that I'm always getting called once every 3 years. I went to the courthouse to be part of a jury. And indeed, I was called after a while to that jury box. And I'm always impressed when I see our legal system at work. I'm always a little nervous when the door opens and I hear a court officer on the inside of the courtroom say, "Please stand for the men and women of the jury." And in walked 8 of us, 9 of us maybe. There was still going to be jury selection. 3 of us would end up not being on the jury, but we would begin by sitting in the jury box. And there I was sitting in the jury box, kind of just looking around, amazed at what I saw. The judge sitting at her bench. The defendant in the case with his lawyer, his advocate. The DA and assistants. The court officers who would be ushering people around. And the last people who were introduced were the witnesses, the men and women who would be witnesses to the case. There were 4 police officers and 3 women. So there were 4, 5, 6, 7 people who were going to be witnesses for the case that day. And I remember sitting back as things began to unfold, and I said to myself, in a very real way, all of us in this room this morning are witnesses, from the judge to the jury. We were all there to witness to something. We were there to witness the truth. We were there to search out the truth. We were there, hopefully, to discover the truth. All of us witnesses to the truth. The readings, my friends, this day that the Lord offers to us, it's about the truth. Because in a very real way, both the first reading from Acts and the gospel itself witness to the truth, because the readings witness to the reality of Jesus Christ. But even beyond that, they witness to the fact that no matter where we are in life, no matter where we are on our spiritual journey, God is with us. In a very real way, the truth that's revealed in these readings on this day for us is the fact that God is with us always. We can see the placement of God in our lives. That reading from Acts of the Apostles, the beginning of the reading, speaks of persecution. If we allowed our imaginations to carry us away, we can see real violence in the very beginning of that reading. The apostles are preaching, miracles are happening, but the persecution begins. The authorities want to squash this new Christian movement. Peter and his band are placed in prison day after day after day. Today we see the very beginning of knocks on the door. Imagine a family, mother, father, children, inside having breakfast. A knock comes to the door. They're dragged out into the street in front of all of their neighbors. They're made to say they're Christian, and they're carted off to prison. Some of them probably killed. Violence, fear, darkness. But God was with them. And then that very last line, one that you may not expect after hearing these 2 paragraphs. In the midst of all of that, there was great joy in the city that day. And he was there too, in their joy. My friends, for you and for me, this living Word of God reminds us that no matter where we are today, some of us might be very, very happy today. Some of us might be a little worried today, a little afraid today, a little sad today. But no matter where we are on our own spiritual journeys at this moment in time and space, the God of all love, the God of all power, cuts across time and space, and He is with us. That's what we hear in the gospel when Jesus reminds us that I am with you always. I am the bread of life. I too have a mission, Jesus tells us. Quite plainly today, I too have a mission that was given to me by my Father, that I not lose anything of what He's given me. And my friends, the Father has given Jesus everything, but more importantly, He's given Him us. The Father gave you to Jesus. He gave me to Jesus. And Jesus seeks to save us every day, no matter where we are on our spiritual journey, whether today is a very happy day or a frustrating day. Jesus Christ is with us, offering us His union with the Father. That's what communion is about. We share communion with Him so that we can live in communion with one another and bring peace and harmony to our world so that there will be great joy in our city this day. And there can be, and there will be, when we allow the Word of God to penetrate our hearts, our minds, and our souls. When we bring the power of the Word of God to our everyday life, the events of our everyday situation. When we allow Him to be a part of that situation, we can do amazing things, because every single day, Jesus seeks to do amazing things through us.